Breaking news from the World Cup. The United States is headed to the round of 16 after defeating Bosnia-Herzegovina 2-0 in Santa Clara, California. Flo Balogun opened the scoring late in the first half, his third goal of the tournament. He got sent off, though, with a red card in the second half and will be out for the next match. Down 10 men, the United States kept up the pressure, and Malik Tillman sealed it with a gorgeous goal off a free kick in the 82nd minute. It's only the second knockout stage victory in team history. Next up for the United States is Belgium on Monday in Seattle. All right, let's get reaction to the Americans' latest win at the World Cup with CBS soccer analyst Michael Lahoud. And Michael, let's talk about the fact that you thought they needed to get off to a fast start in this one. It wasn't a fast start. And how much do you suppose, if we go sequentially here, that there is some residue to resting all the guys or most of the starters from the last matchup?
Yeah, look, Mauricio Pochettino made no just mince about it in terms of his ideas and his ideology, in that he made 10 changes from the side that faced Turkey, that's what you get to do when you already qualified top of your group going into the third and final group stage match. And I applaud him for it, because what I saw, although we didn't see the goal come to fruition early on, we saw a team that looked fresh. We saw aggression. We saw this intensity that let Bosnia know that the United States was playing, arguably, one of the games of their lives. And Mauricio Pochettino alluded to this, saying that for the U.S. to come out on top, they needed to see this as their World Cup final, or else they'd struggle against a Bosnia side that was only making their second ever World Cup appearance and first in knockout history. That was going to be their final. So from the emotional standpoint, I was really pleased with what I saw from Poch and the team. Now it's just about sharpening up and getting the goal. And it was a good thing they rewarded themselves with that goal from Flo Balogun right before halftime.
Let's dig into that first half. He actually scored a goal that was taken off for offsides. Then soon thereafter scored and almost had another one right before the half. They were up 1-0. Dominated play for the last 20 to 30 minutes there. 5-1 up in shots. Your impression of how they responded to that slow start?
Yeah, it was, a bit frustrating at times, because those are the fine margins that differentiate the great teams from the good teams and the good teams from the great teams. Great teams put teams to the sword when they get a sniff, not a handful of chances. You look at a France team, who in my opinion is the best team at the World Cup, who has probably the best chance to win the World Cup, and they're standing above everyone else. If you give Kylian Mbappe half of those chances that Flo Balogun gets, it's 3-0. And the game is done and dusted. Mbappe's hitting the showers, probably having a cappuccino or whatever he drinks at halftime in the French locker room. But this is the new standard the U.S. is trying to get to. And they didn't lose hope. They didn't lose faith. And that, as a U.S. soccer fan, you have to be excited about. You have to be pleased about what you saw. And speaking of milestone moments from Flo Balogun, we need to really just talk about how good Flo Balogun has been for the U.S. When you peel the layers back, he has been in red-hot form when it comes to major international competition. You look at the company he's in. He's the first player since Landon Donovan to score 3 goals at the World Cup. He's one shy of the all-time record. But if you go back, Jim, to Copa America, he's now got 5 goals in his last 6 matches in major international tournaments for the U.S. men's national team. You asked me going in how significant Christian Pulisic's game was going to be. I said that Flo Balogun is the main man in the attack for the U.S., and that Christian, he will get his space to operate and his time to really be dangerous. Today was about Flo, but in the second half, it was for the wrong reasons.
So they lose him in the second half. Red card, 63rd minute. They're going to be down a man the rest of the way. First, your thoughts on the call.
Yeah, I thought it was a sham. I thought it was an absolute disgrace. I don't use those words mostly because I got a 11-month-old daughter downstairs, and I don't like to have her learn disgrace is one of her first words coming into this world. But FIFA have a problem in their hands, and it's called VAR. It's a 3-letter acronym that's an absolute farce. I'm just going to put this out there because I know my bosses are watching. I know that people around the world watch soccer. VAR is ruining the game of soccer, Jim. It is ruining the game that we love, the game that I love, the game that I was fortunate to play, because there's such inconsistency with what we see in that ruling. Flo Balogun, for me, that should have been a yellow. It's incidental contact.
Yep.
You give a red card for that if it's intentional contact. There was nothing intentional. There was nothing malicious other than just clumsiness in two players getting wrestled up. The reason why I'm so hot and bothered about it is that Lionel Messi, the greatest player of all time, when he scored his hat trick, he had the exact same incident happen, and FIFA and VAR, they didn't even bat an eye to it, Jim. And Messi goes on and scores a hat trick. If you're going to send off Flo Balogun, you better send off Lionel Messi. It has to be equal footing. And now it starts to beg the question, do your superstars get special treatment at a World Cup? And your players who maybe not are billed as superstars get the other sort of treatment? For me, this is becoming very clear that FIFA and VAR, they're choosing to turn the other cheek and the other eye when it comes to Messi and company and your elite stars. And they're choosing to punish the likes of Flo Balogun and other players for the wrong reasons. That should never be a red card. And now that has implications on the next match. I hope the U.S. men's national team tries to appeal this. This should be rescinded.
Yeah, and they had to get through the remainder of the game down a man. Free kick, Malik Tillman. What can you say about the perfect placement of that shot?
Malik Tillman has been a revelation for Mauricio Pochettino and the U.S. men's national team. I've been covering him a long time, and I actually spoke to one of his head coaches at PSV Eindhoven, and he coined him a special player with special talent that needs to realize it and really step into his own. And at this World Cup, Jim, we've really seen him mature right before our eyes. He's taken a responsibility in that midfield, and that's why I highlighted one of my three keys. Number 3 was runners from midfield, and really midfielders making an impact on this game. And the fact that he took that free kick, the fact that he put the technique, which it was almost like, remember the Mighty Ducks when, I forgot the actor's name, but he hits the knuckle puck?
Right.
That was the version, the soccer version of it's knuckle puck time. And maybe you could say, okay, the Bosnian goalkeeper may have done a bit better, but you make goalkeepers make mistakes when you have the right technique. So it's good to see him flourishing, and it's good to see him being one of the most irreplaceable players on this U.S. team right now.
Yeah, no doubt. And it was huge, doubled the lead. They're down a man. They're down their best player, if you will, from the 63rd minute on. And they respond and get a 2-0 win. Your take on how they responded to that red card the rest of the way?
Yeah, it was good to see them bend but not break. It's always hard when you have momentum. And let's be honest, it was one team on the pitch up until that red card. It looked like Bosnia, their just tactics was to sit back and absorb and hope to not get beat. And you could see some of the quality and some of the young quality that Bosnia have, especially in Esmir Bajraktarevic, who at one point played for the U.S. men's national team and chose to honor the lineage and the heritage of his family, whose parents are Bosnian. So it was good to see some of the up-and-coming talent on the Bosnia's national team really pushing the envelope. And for the U.S. men's national team and Matt Friese to do something that they have struggled to do in their last 12 matches, which is keep a clean sheet. It's only the second time, Jim, in the last 12 games for the U.S. that they've gotten a clean sheet. So job well done for Poch, job well done for the back line, and job well done for the U.S. men's national team. They are going on to the round of 16.
Yeah, 3 victories at a single World Cup, most ever for the United States. 10 goals at a single World Cup, most ever for the United States as well. He's CBS soccer analyst Michael Lahoud. Michael, we appreciate the insight.
Thank you.
This is what it looks like for the United States at the FIFA World Cup. Past 20 years, we mentioned going in, they didn't have 3 total victories in the previous 4. Well, they got to the round of 16 here, just like they did in 2022. Will they advance without their best player next time out?